Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Village of Wiphampton, and this is episode 13. Now, since last time, I've done a few little things, not a lot, because I wanted to keep you up to date. I mean, I've changed this land here a little bit, brought down all those horrible hills and smoothed it out because it was getting in my way. I went down into the mines again because I wanted to get a bit of obsidian, so I made a diamond pick. Ooh. Got myself 18 obsidian, and a few other bits, a few more diamonds and things, but nothing special. But the obsidian's there, so we can build a nether portal at some point, and also so I can make an enchanting table. But I've been having a look around the village, and I've been thinking about some things, and I've made some decisions. And now that we don't have any villagers right now, it opens up what we can do without having to worry about where they're going to live and things like that. And I'm not ready to replace them all yet. So I was thinking, what this village really needs is, it needs a focal point, a square. I mean, all like towns and villages, they have like a sort of a square. If it's not a market square, then just like, you know, a gathering place. And the well's a good place. I mean, having a well in the middle of it would be brilliant. But look at the well, it's a bit close to the blacksmiths. There's not enough room around it to make a square. And also, all this area here is really quite hilly. We really don't want this much hills. So what we're going to need to do is move the well, for one, which could be a bit of a problem, I have to say. Let's just, you know, chop a hole in it. Doesn't matter anymore. Because we've got to get rid of all this water. So I'm going to have to fill up the well and move it and dig a new one somewhere over here. But first of all, I'm going to have to clear down this land a bit. Now, a creeper did a little bit for me. Right back in episode 1 or 2, I think that was, way back, and that gave me an idea in itself. We can have some fun and TNT that, but not right now, because I went on into my chests and I thought, well, as I had that idea, I was like, yeah, we could TNT that. Let's see how much gunpowder have I got from creepers. So I went up into my chest like I'm doing now, and I opened it up, and I've got 13 gunpowder, and that's not going to go anywhere, is it? So I've got to get some more of that. I honestly thought I had more than that, but it would appear not. So we are going to need some more gunpowder. So I'm going to have to go creeper hunting, which is never a great thing. But especially on the harder difficulties, because a creeper can take you out in one hit. So I could really do some better weapons and armour. So I'm going to do some diamond armour, because my iron is... I made a new helmet and boots, but... the chest and legs, which are the main ones I'd want diamonds, they're getting low, so that's going to have to wait a bit. But then that's an idea for the future, and something that I'll be taking care of in the next couple of episodes is I'll go and get, or at least some point, I'll go and get a load of creepers, or at least try and get a load of gunpowder from them. And then we'll have a little video, part of one episode, where I will blow the shit out of this landscape. Because look, behind here there's some lovely flat area, it just needs a bit of a cutback. And then we can make a town square somewhere around here. We'll put the well right in the middle of it, and it will really tie the village together to have a sort of focal point. Then we can build the rest of the houses and buildings sort of around it with roads running through. Because that's something else I noticed, is that we need some roads. I mean, there's a lot of just jumping up random bits of dirt and land, because there's some very big height differences in this village. I mean, obviously from there to here to here to all the way up there, it's going to be big. So that's something else to go on the list, and I will write all this on the list pretty soon. But yeah, at some point we're going to have to not level out the land, because I don't want it flat, that would look silly, but to put steps and roads and things, some proper like walkways to get up between the layers, just to tie it all in together. So we're going to need needing a lot more of these slabs, because that's what I've been using for the paths, and that's what I'm going to continue to use for the paths, because they contrast quite nicely with the bricks and the cobble and everything else. I've also got to do my house. Now that I've cut about this land a bit here, it's starting to look silly now. It's just sitting there on its own, and all this gravel and sand under it. That I'm going to do fairly soon. Is destroy my house and rebuild it. But on the subject of houses, that's what I'm going to do today. is I'm going to take a look at these two and see what we can do with them. I want to keep the general look of it, but I do want to make them a little bit better than this, a little bit taller and a lot prettier, and I don't want them to be completely made out of cobblestone. I'm thinking at the moment, although I might change my mind, but I'm thinking I might put a cobblestone base, just one layer of cobblestone around the bottom of them, maybe two, and then build up with bricks and wood, the rest of it. I think, because of taking down these and my house and everything, it's going to leave me with so much of the standard oak plank stairs, as such. Good old oak plank stairs. It's going to leave me so many of these that, you know, they'll be wasted if I don't use them. I mean, even so far, all I've managed to do is like use them for seats and benches and things, and you know, that didn't take up many in the church there. So I think I will make the roofs of the houses out of the standard oak planks, and if I do it all that way, they'll sort of fit in together. But again, I'm still going to have to destroy them, and because I want to raise them up a bit, and I want to change a few other things about the land, just so it all fit in well. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to change these two as my prototypes, and then I'm going to put in another sort of 1, 2, 3, at least another 3 today, and then we've got room down there to expand out, maybe another 3 or 4 down there as well. I mean, I'm not going to make them huge, and they're all going to be just a single floor, because they're just little like cottages sort of thing for standard workers in the village. So they, you know, they don't need to be anything amazing, but they certainly can look better than that. So I am going to get on with my new pick. So I've got some new iron tools as well as one diamond pick, because I'm not going to waste my diamond pick on things like this unless I have to. I haven't got that many diamonds, but I'm going to bring these down, at least down to the foundation level, so I can see get a good view of the shape and lay out a few more foundation shapes, and then I'll show you what I've done before moving on to the next stage. So I'm going to get busy on this, and I will see you all in a little while. Welcome back. I'm just filling in a little hole from a slight accident I had with the creeper. Not actually my fault as such, but spiders would not bloody leave me alone. See, the thing is, I went through a night. So since I don't have villagers around, I might as well just go through a night and just fight whatever comes along. And I did, and I've got some cool stuff actually, which we'll go and put in a chest. And while I explain exactly what's going on, so I got, look at this, 16 more gunpowder. So that's 29 gunpowder we have now. That's enough for a few TNTs. We can have some fun with that, because TNT obviously is the fun way to do it. Okay, we've got some more string and got a ton of rotten meat and spider eyes and a whole load of other stuff. We've got another ender pearl. There was a few endermen. I killed them, but I only got one ender pearl. Those things are they're so hard to come by. And I think this is actually my first ender pearl, because otherwise it would be in there. It's only in the others. So yeah, that's it. I've got one ender pearl. It's not exactly great, but it's better than nothing. Did I have any other stuff? Oh yeah, I've got a whole load of broken tools. Well, not broken, but nearly broken tools. Very worn out, because I've been making use of them. Whereas I've said before that with wood and stone tools, I don't repair them. There's no point repairing them. They're so cheap. You just end up with a pack full of broken and half-broken tools. But now I'm only using iron tools. It's actually worthwhile. And a lot of people seem to forget. I mean, I forget a lot of the time. If you put 2 broken tools into a crafting table or into your crafting square, it repairs them. It combines their durability and adds 10%. So you get a much better tool back for it. It actually makes them go a lot further in the long run, because you get that 10%, and those 10%, you do that 10 times, and that's a free iron tool, which is all well and good. As you can see, I've got a lot of stuff because I've taken down these two houses right down to their bases. I've left the wooden floors inside. I actually had to replace this one because this one I've actually smoothed the land a bit and moved it down a block. I had to build an entire layer underneath before taking it out, and I've moved the whole thing back one block to make more room for a path, which didn't actually require moving everything. All it required was putting another layer in here, there and there, and then taking the front layer off. So these side ones, you know, because they didn't need to move, they haven't moved at all. All I've done is just shifted these flat sides back a bit. So there's two there, and I think these are actually pretty much they're exactly the same size, and they face off against each other. Now this is giving me an idea, but what I've done over here for ideas is I wasn't you know, entirely sure what's going to look the best here. So I've made 4 different examples, and this is a good thing to do, you know, because you can always destroy them again afterwards, but just to see how things are actually going to look with whatever texture pack you're using and things. So I've got bricks with cobblestone supports and wooden planks for walls. I've got bricks for the bottom with cobblestone walls and supports together, and I've reversed it. I've got cobblestone underneath with brick supports and wooden walls, and obviously cobblestone underneath with brick supports and brick walls. And I'm just looking at this and just thinking, I'm just going to leave those there while I work out a few other things, because did that really hurt me? Seriously? Okay, well, because you know, this is something. It's a big decision to make. It is a big decision because this is going to be the base sort of layout for most of the houses in the village, and so we want it to look good. We don't want to have to go back and change it all later on. So I'm just looking at these, and I'm going to make it. I don't need to make a decision instantly. I can, as I'm working along, I can just keep looking and thinking about it. I do like this and this. I like to have. I'm definitely thinking I'm going to keep wood into the walls of the buildings. So you know, let's reduce the choices a bit. So I'm going to take down these ones. That reduces down. So now I'm just down to 2 choices. Well, a choice. Sorry, that's accepted terminology, but it's not exactly right. It's not 2 choices, it's a choice between 2 things. And it's one of my pet hates, I have to say. You know, I don't want to burden you all with my little peeves and pet hates and the things that piss me off, but especially when I do it myself, it annoys me. And people say 2 choices when it's only actually a choice. But that's beside the point. These are the 2 options that I'm going to make a choice between, but not now. As I work on, I'm just going to have to decide on one of them. I might make between episodes, if I don't get all this done today, I might make a little test world in creative and knock some things up, or go on to one of my test worlds that I have and do it there, just because then I can do it in a few minutes and see how it's going to look in the long run. That's another thing that's always a good idea to do. If you're not unsure, you know, there's no saying you have to even do something and then destroy it again afterwards. If you're really unsure about something, then you can just make a world, even a flat world, in creative, and just see what you get from that. And then you can just come back and do it, you know, legit. It's not in any way cheating. I mean, certainly I wouldn't say it's in any way cheating, because you're not doing it on this world. You're not cheating on this world. You're just getting some ideas. What I'm doing here at the moment is just digging where a path is going to run, because that's another thing that occurred to me while I was working away at this. Bloody rain. Is that you know, there's no point just putting down random buildings. I'm going to need to have like pathways and things for them to run through. So to run through them, so people can have them like roads and stuff. So that's why I moved this back one, to make an extra room, because I didn't want the stairs hanging over the path. Because I'm quite happy with these to be a level up. That looks good. I can add another layer of of base material under here, and that'll look good. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm actually going to go with this design, because I've already got cobblestone bases, and if I don't have to replace these, I'm not going to. So I think we might run with this one actually. We have a cobblestone here, but I'm going to run 2 layers of cobblestone round, and then I'm going to make the corners out of stone bricks, and then I'm going to make the walls out of wooden planking. I might change the colour of the wooden planking for the walls. I think I probably am going to change the colour of the wooden planking for the walls. Because the floor is oak, and I've got a lot of other colours, and there's so much we can do. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some of my wood out, and I'm going to build up some bases. I might put a couple more foundations in as well, just so I know where they're going to go. Because, I mean, I can run another path between here, I think. Because these houses, they're not going to have much in the way of gardens, but I might leave them a bit of space for it. But as I say, I can decide all that. I might just copy that there, copy that there. So all the houses will be, you know, basically the same. So if you're looking at that, that's on the right hand side, although mirrored, because yeah, that doesn't rotate round the same way. But you know, that's a decision I can make while I'm working away. But I want to get, the sun's going down, I think. I want to get rid of this rain, so I'm going to head to my bed and have a sleep, and then carry on working. And when I come back, I'll hopefully have something a little bit more coherent to show you. For the moment, I just really wanted to make it just clear exactly how we're going to go about this, and just a few, maybe present some ideas. So yeah, it's definitely getting dark. Jumping in bed, I shall be back with you shortly. And here we are. Okay, so I've gone right ahead, and I've built the exterior of one of these houses entirely, and I'll tell you, it did not come easy. I've tried various different things, and I ended up abandoning most of the ideas. As you can see, I didn't end up using the normal oak planks for the roof anyway. I went with the jungle steps. We've got so much of that jungle wood, and I wanted to use it up. And I just figured that we needed a darker roof, because I originally went for the jungle wood in the walls here, where you can see I've put the birch, but that didn't look right either. So I had to change that for birch. I had to change that for jungle wood. I decided that I quite liked the idea that they've done in the you can see my house, in the standard buildings, with these logs up against the sides of the windows. And I quite liked that idea, so I kept that, and also put one above the door. And I've kept up the height, so it's a little bit high from the outside. I think I like that, because I'm going to add some other stuff to the outside. It's not just going to be these steps, but I have some like flower boxes and things like that, just to make it all pretty. But I think especially from the inside, this looks right. I originally had wood like along here where this line is of cobble is, and then I mean, that was nice, that looked alright, but I decided I didn't like it in the end, and I put more cobble in across there, but also because it was straying too far away from what's here. And as I said in the first place, I wanted to keep these buildings in the same sort of theme as the original ones. So even to the roof, I mean, I've improved it, but I'll show you that now. I've improved it, but I've kept the roof with 3 gable ends. Oh, actually haven't remembered to put in a couple of blocks there, but I'll do that, you know, in a little bit. Once I'm off camera and finishing up stuff, I'll do that. But yeah, I didn't put a corner roof like I did with the farmhouse, because of the way these are. I did it with 3 ends in a sort of T-junction shape. But it's come out alright. I mean, it's obviously it still needs furnishing. It's completely empty in here. Needs furnishing, maybe way up into the loft space, because there is some room up there. And there's no point wasting it. We could make some use of that. I also shifted this one, this base. I moved it over a block, just to make some more space around. Because I wanted a bit more room over here. Because you see I'm starting to cut this way. I'm going to do some pathway up here. And I didn't want it to, you know, to look funny. So I shifted that over and I built this as close as I can. So you've literally just got a path between the two houses here. I haven't put any floor in this one yet, like that one has got. But I laid out the base of a third, which faces, you know, directly across from that one. And I've got plenty of space here for 2-3 more. But I think that's, you know, that's enough for a day. I will go into a little bit more detail next time on how exactly I built this as I build the other ones, because I'm going to make these ones pretty much exactly the same, just facing in a different direction. But you know, for the first one, I just wanted to go right ahead and build it and actually get a design that that works, that I liked, that's going to look good in this village, and I think this will. I think this is an easily repeatable design, which will look fine once it's all linked up and everything. All the roads are in, and it'll look good like that. So I'm thinking that's about time to call it for an episode. I mean, I'll leave you with some ideas that I've got for next time, because I'm going to need to go and get those the animals in at some point. So I mean, I've got one house built. I'll probably leave doing another one until I can show you it, but I've got to think about it. I'll lay out some stuff maybe for the animal pens, so I can bring the animals in, because we desperately need the wool from the sheep. I needed to finish the farmhouse, which that just needs wool. The interiors of these need wool. The church just needs the wool, and I think I'm going to make my house out of wool. I'm going to make it look like plaster. The best plaster looking thing you can get is wool, and that's going to go into place to this. I'll eventually chop this down, smash all this cobble down, and build up something in its place. I think I'm still going to have it quite high up. I'm going to make a big towery type house, but you know, I'm not too worried about that right now. But we do need to get the animals in, so we can finish off some other stuff, because it's silly. I mean, we've got too many things started, not enough finished. Pathways to do, buildings to finish and stuff. There's still, you know, an absolute ton to do here, and the next step to that, I think, is definitely getting the animals in. So next time I'm going to build I think I will build the animal pens, and we'll get them in, and then after that we can just go through the other houses. But I mean, this one's done, and you can see it, and it'll give you all an idea of how to go about and maybe make some houses for yourself. Because it's, you know, it does look alright. I mean, it's hard to work on this small scale. You can't put a lot of detail in, and I've had to substitute detail work with different materials, but you know, it's fine. So it's not even bedtime yet, so I can get on with a few little bits before I end. But I'm going to let you all go now. I say thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.